plot styles, right?
Yes, I remember from last. I
So for the imperial metric dimension,
Hmm?
if I download these, I have to install the Sheridan standards back into here, right? Because every time I'm always at a different computer and I have to update my version of AutoCAD because it doesn't have ArchCTP, it doesn't have the Sheridan standards for line dimensions and text and stuff like that. It's a real ball ache. So now that I'm sat on another computer,
Mm-hmm.
I'm having to do this all over again.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that when we get going, because you do move quickly and that's fine,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to make sure that I'm not having to drop what you're saying and start downloading stuff and trying to reinstall stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to the dimensions and stuff, is it from here? Can you remind me? Imperial text, dimension styles? From Sheridan?
Dim style. Yes, the text and dim. Yeah.
So I can just download this.
Yeah. So it will be great if you have a drawing or a template that is constantly updated. Remember I said update?
Yes.
I actually did that, so you get that habit of.
Oh, so the templates hold on to the ArchCTP.
Yes.
Does it? I didn't know. Okay, okay.
Oh wait, no. Sorry. The RCTB is from the installation of AutoCAD.
Okay.
That's why when you move,
I have to reinstall
yeah, it's
the plotter
missing.
manager. Yeah.
Which is not
Simple
really,
enough.
yeah, not that difficult, but
I've done it so many times now. I know.
yeah, which is good, right?
Repetition.
Repetition.
Yeah.
It's part of the training somehow, but in an office you don't move really,
You
right?
don't have to. I know.
Yeah.
I know. But regardless, I mean, it is good for the learning process.
Yes,
But in terms of getting the Sheridan standards back in,
because I could make it a policy. Use your computer, right? Assign computer, because
I mean, you could, but then it seems a bit excessive.
I know.
I totally understand. And again, it's that repetition where I keep on tripping up on where I install the Sheridan standard. I haven't done.
Oh, so if you put it in your template,
then it'll be constantly
always, yeah.
Okay,
So that's why I said in one of the classes, update your template. It's always there. But your drawing should have the standards. It will not move. It's only the ArchCTB. Is that correct? That's missing.
Really?
Yeah, dim
Okay.
style should be within the drawing.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you type dim style, it's there, right? Oops. D
Dim style.
D enter.
Sheridan is there.
Yeah, it will be there.
Because it comes with the drawing.
But ArchCTB is part of the installation.
Okay, that's a different facet.
So otherwise you shouldn't be only ArchCTB. You're having that type of issue.
Got it.
But all the rest, it's ports with the
Okay, that's good.
drawing.
All right. I think I've got that settled then.
Yeah.
My God.
Okay. Is Sheila back? No?
You can probably start.
Yes. Yeah, I wanted to start without her. No, I'm just kidding. But let's check attendance. So while we wait for others, okay? Melissa, Aisha, not here. Yuda, not here. Brandon, Zachary, Bronson, Hudson, Idris, Nadia, not here. David, Olivia, not, yes. Diosa, Alexander, Gursirat, Gunit, Kai, Benson, not here. Wenky, not here. Rachel, Nicholas, not here. Ryder, not projecting that. Ryder, not here. Nicola, Asila, Simsol, not here. Janine, not here. Blood, not here. Louis, okay. Ibad, not here. Benjamin, Yin, Maxim, Carmen, Mark. Carmen's here. Where? Okay. Mark, Loai, Kasim, Abdullah. Okay. So, especially for those who are not seeing my projection, I think those who are there, you're not seeing my projection, right? You can go to the virtual classroom in Slate, go under communication, virtual classroom, and week three should be being broadcasted there. Okay, so you should see the screen. Is that correct? Week 3, 3B. The open 3B. Yeah. For some reason, you're not able to see. Week 3B. Communication. Under communication. Here's one classroom. Join. Okay, so if your second monitor, the one I project on, is not showing, you can go to the under communication virtual classroom. Okay.
So I've got Arch CTB here. And how do I get all of these colors to be black and white?
It should be. So click OK. Close. If it doesn't, you copy this, or let's regen first. Double RE. Yeah, and enter. Yeah, see, regen works.
So
Now the reason why that's not showing the color is if you go to page setup manager, modify, and edit the Art CTB. So this is the Art CTB, and you go on. See, this one says color 1, print it as black.
Oh, I got to go through all of them?
No, so
the
color
orange.
40, color 40. So 40 says use object color. If you want it to show as black, which I don't really recommend.
No.
No. Well, here's the thing. When you print this in a black and white printer, it will print as gray. That's the whole idea.
Oh, so it's okay if I send
Yeah,
you
you
the
see the
PDF at
chroma.
top?
You see the chroma.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
in PDF it will print as. So if you're doing PDF, you change that number 40 to a gray color,
Okay.
right? Print as gray. I think you can do that. This one here.
So orange, let me go to orange.
Yeah, 40. Yeah, 40.
40.
Yeah, print as gray. So you can select a gray tone. Select color, maybe something like that. And then yeah, object line weight you use.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, save and okay and
Close. Change.
HM.
Because it was coming through in the PDF as orange, and I'm
Yeah, because PDF can print color,
yes.
but if it goes to the printer, which is only black and white, it automatically prints it as gray.
Got it. I'll remember that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh,
Okay. Okay, so kindly open your project 1, step 3. So you should have the just a second. So kindly open project 1, step 3. We're going back to step 2. So you've done the site development plan. Now we're going to be adding the annotation. If you go to our week 2 presentation, we talked about annotative objects. What is an annotative object? Can somebody tell me what? Yep.
it can scale.
It can scale, and we saw it scale, right? Perfect. What else? It can be displayed in one viewport, but not the other. So if you made it, let's say an annotation text at the scale, plot scale 1/4 is to 1, and you went to a different viewport where the scale is 1/2 is to 1, that text or dimension will not show. So it also allows you to control the visibility. Like I said, you can also do BP freeze, but then you need to create another layer for that dimension or text. So it's a lot easier to just say annotative. And to do that, you need to turn off this button right here, show annotation object. When you are creating your text or your dimension or any annotative object, you need to turn these 2 buttons off. Okay? So add scales to annotative object when the annotation scale changes. See? Now, what is annotative scaling? That brings us to this topic right here, object scale. Now, when the buttons that I was showing earlier are off, and you make a text or an annotative object, it will be only shown at the scale you created it. So 3/8 is to 1. But if you want it to also show in a different scale, in a different viewport, then you simply click on add when you type object scale. So the command is object scale, and then you can add different scales if you want to show it in a different viewport in a different scale. Object scale, add, okay? Or you can also delete if you don't want to show an object. So that's object scale.
No window comes up.
No, you have to select. We don't have annotative scale yet here, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once we have an annotative scale object. So that brings us to adding annotative objects in our project. Okay. So this is similar to our week 1 PDF. Okay. So you have these dimensions already. Now we're going to create a layout that looks like this. Our paper will be ISO A2. Okay, so that's the first thing we want to do. Again, when you are doing annotation, or you should do annotation near the end of your drawing session. So you've done all your drawings. Now and only now should you start working on your annotation. The first thing that you want to do is go to the layout tab and know what scale you're going to be using. So here, you go type Page Setup Manager, or right click the layout tab and select Page Setup Manager. You can also type Page and select Page Setup Manager. Modify this and select the printer. So Adobe Print PDF or Microsoft Print to PDF. This allows you to select an A2 size or paper size. If you are selecting a printer that can only print 11 by 17, then that will be the limitation of the size of paper you can select. So with PDF, you can go as high as a 2, okay, a 5, okay, so bigger papers. Now, we're going to select A2. What to plot? The layout. So this is the layout. When you say the layout, that's what it is. You can also plot the extent of the drawing, especially if it goes beyond the display, whatever is being displayed. You can say window. You can define a window and it will only print that. But normally, you want to print the layout, which is this one here, the paper, the layout. Okay? Now, plot scale. If it's millimeter or metric, you select millimeter. Scale 1 to 1. Again, why 1 to 1? Why not 1 to 50? Why 1 to 1? You have to understand it, because when you go to work and become a CAD manager, you don't just say, that's what Ram said. Why 1 to 1? Yeah, so 1 to 1 of the paper, plot scale. So 1 to 1 of this paper. If it's an A2 paper, print it as A2, 1 to 1. The scale is inside the viewport. Correct. It's already scaled there. Very good, right? So it's scaled here, in this case, 1 to 50. So that's the reason why you're scaling this 1 to 1. Now, what happens if I say 1 to 2? Then my A2 will be printed in and half of that paper. See, sometimes you want to print, instead of a large format print, you want to say, okay, this paper is A2, but print it half the size. Because when you bring it in the site, you want a smaller paper. You don't want to bring the whole big roll. So sometimes you see people carrying an A2, a tabloid, but was printed from an A2. Okay? So that's printing it half. Okay? But normally, we say 1 to 1. Okay? Next, ArtCTB, that's our plot style. We do have other plot style. If we're drawing a detailed drawing, we might want to use an arch thick, right? So that our lines are a little thicker because the scale is bigger. But ArtCTB normally works pretty well. If you edit this, right? If you're not familiar with the ArtCTB or plot styles, we're using colors 1 to 8. All of this prints as black. But if you go beyond 8 or 10, I think, so this one here, 9 uses the object color, meaning say gray. Color 10 will use the object color, so it will print as red. If you have a colored printer, it will print red. But if you have a black and white printer only, using object color will force the printer to print this in a gray tone. And if you remember the chroma PDF I gave you, those are the gray tones it will print, selecting a different color. Okay? Now, and then all the rest, what are the different values, right? Use object line weight, color 1, right? Like what we said in the first week and last term, it will be assigned a specific line thickness. There are so many, right? It's like buying these different pens from Staples or wherever you buy your pens. Use them, right? You can go to color 10 and say I need a thicker color. You can, okay? A thicker line weight, I'll assign it to a color. So you're not limited to colors 1 to 9. In fact, I said color 1 is 0.18, color 3 is also 0.18. So there's actually a duplicate there. The reason why that's done is to differentiate where we use red, we use in dimension, and green we use for furniture. But they're both thin lines. Okay? So we can do that. And there are more colors that you can choose from. And when you do that, save it as your own ArtCTB. So you'll say David's ArtCTB, right? Yep. Okay. Any question regarding plot style? Okay, you can edit that. And then always display the plot style. Well, you don't have to do always. If you want to see the colors, you may uncheck that. But if you want to see the black and white with the thickness, turn that on. Okay, click OK and close. Sometimes, even if we do that, we don't see the black and white showing. Okay, you type regen, that will be one command that you can use to regenerate the drawing. The database will try to refresh the screen, and if that doesn't work, what I do is make a copy of the layout, and sometimes that works. But regen should work instantly. Now, once you have A2, resize this, okay, and scale this to 1 to 50. We want to achieve something like this, where this one will show the washroom to the right at scale 1 to 30. And this here will show the second washroom at the same scale, 1 to 30. So first, you have to be in paper space, so double click in the white space to be able to select a viewport, because the viewport sits on the paper, not inside the model. So you can attach the viewport if you are in model space. And sometimes what happens is that you go in, I'm in paper space, and then I double click inside. Sorry, like you zoom in, double click inside, and you're now in paper space, or sorry, model space, and you can't get out to paper space. What do you do? What's the command to go to paper space?
Oh, it's that real screen thing?
So you can, you can go model space, paper space, that, right? You can do that. Or you can, because in paper space, I can zoom out again to the paper, right? If you're zoomed in. Sometimes some people get stuck.
Oh, so maximize viewport doesn't.
Not, no, different from maximize viewport, right? So I'm in paper space, model space, okay? But sometimes, like I said, you go in, like zoom in, while in paper space, you double click, you're now in model space, and you can't get out to paper space. So you click here, from model, you go back to paper, or you type PS for paper space, MS for model space, okay? So, again, in paper space, arrange your viewport and change this to 1 to 50. Place it at the center. And do you have enough space for the dimensions, right? Do you have enough space for the dimension? If yes, then you have a good size viewport. Otherwise, maybe make this a little bigger, okay? And center this, okay? Scale 1 to 50. Sometimes it's nice to lock it, so you're not anymore able to remove the magnification or change the layout. You can always unlock it if you want to edit that. Okay? Now, and then we type MV, like what we did last time, and make here a viewport that will show the toilet washroom at the right side at scale 1 to 30. Okay? And then I can copy this viewport, copy, and maybe place it here, leaving space for my title, and then showing the other washroom at the same scale 1 to 30. Regen to show the black and white color. Now, that's the first thing you want to do before doing annotation, adding text or dimension, because you want to know, am I able to fit my drawing with the dimension at that particular scale? Because before you add annotation, you want to set the scale. Or you go here and then add the annotation right in that viewport by simply maximizing, clicking this button, maximize viewport, and do it here instead of the model tab. Okay? So, minimize, maximize. So I can go here and then add my dimensions from here and then minimize. Okay? I can go here, maximize, and then add my dimension here, and then back to minimize. That's a good workflow instead of doing it here. Okay? So, first, make the viewport, place the proper plot style, plot scale, checked. Any question regarding the setup? Then, you want to set the layer. See, I see a lot of students. They don't change the layer first, start adding dimension, and then we'll select each of the dimension and then change the layer or simply forget to do that and gets a lot of deduction mark for placing their dimension in a different layer. It's a lot easier if you remember to select the layer first. So we're going to do A0 dimensioning. So we have to go to, this is the first layer, so A01 dim. Okay, so first, set the plot scale, lock it in, set the layer, write it down. Okay, so you know the steps all the time. Next, dim style. Hopefully you are able to bring in the Sheridan dim style, metric. Make sure it's metric, modify. You see metric text, dimensions, not fractions or feet and inches. So metric, you can modify to suit your need, but this is our dim style. D, enter is the shortcut key. D, enter. Okay, so set that to current, close. What else do we need to do before we add dimension? I have the layer, I have the scale 1 to 50, I have my dim style. I'm ready, right? I didn't forget anything. So now we go maximize and then we add our dimensions. So we start here, first level, starting here to the opening of the door, and then here and along that line. So we'll just say D, okay? D, dim linear. Linear, if you want to measure or dimension vertically or horizontally. You want, even if it's slanting, you want the vertical or horizontal dimension. So dim linear, I start here, there, okay? And then not too far, not too close. Not too close to the building, but not too far as well. Somewhere here is good, okay? And then you say D, continue. D, continue, okay? Opening here, okay? So you try to select all the parts of the drawing or building that need to be dimensioned so that your builder can build it with the exact dimension. Now, your dimension might be a little bit off, and there's a good reason for that. It's because of the thickness of the wall. So this is an as-built plan. This is how it was built. Okay? So dim continue, enter, enter to stop that. Okay, now you want to go back to the layout, minimize to see, okay, do you have enough space? Looking good, right? So if you use that, will you have enough space for your dimension? Okay, so I do, so I go back and do it again. D, linear. Okay, this time I would like to dimension the room, the more important area, the room, and then the column distance, the grid. Okay, so I'll start here as well, and then do this. That's the first one. Again, not too far, not too close. Okay, you don't want it too close, too tight. Okay, give it some breathing room, maybe somewhere there. Okay, and then D, continue. Okay, now we want to measure the grid. Actually, the column is on the grid line, so no need to click the midpoint of that column. I can place it here. Okay. And this one as well, somewhere here. Actually, I normally like it above the dimension so that there's a gap, and I'm going to adjust that later, and I'm not overlapping text and dimension. Okay, here, likewise. So instead of on the wall, move it here. We'll fix the first one later, and then this one as well. I think the grid, we want the grid. Okay, and if you want to, you can also measure this. Okay, enter, enter. Now, text, dimension text can be moved, right? So it can be moved. Sometimes I like to do that when it's too close to the lines. And for this one here, I can move this. Okay, so move that as well so that I see a gap here, and I might want to move this a little bit to the left. Okay. Okay. So here, the PDF doesn't show the dimension at the end. It only dimension the grid line, but that's okay. I prefer doing that. Okay. And then we do the grid line. Okay. Too many levels. This one, oh, actually, this one just went all the way, right? So I don't really need that. Yeah, maybe that's actually good from here to there. So you know that's the building area instead of the grid. But that's okay. And then from here, maybe I'll do dim linear again to show the overall building dimension. I think that's enough, right? Grid and then overall. Now, this one here, you want to have about the same distance, okay, to be consistent. But you have to measure it. You can, like, place a reference, or you simply eyeball it, making sure or trying to make it look as far, right? Equally distance. Okay. I think that's good enough. You don't have to follow this, but you can if you want to. You can follow my dimension here. I don't mind, as long as you do the 3 levels of dimensions. Okay, so this one makes sense for me. It's maybe, yeah, maybe I need a grid here. I think I want to also do the grid to grid. So maybe I'll move this here. Yeah, grid to, not there. Here. Sorry, undo. I think I'd like to make that there. So I measure, oh, sorry, not that. This one here. This one, I think we want to show the measurement of the grid. Okay. So this one, I can place it here to measure the grid from grid to grid. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm measuring the grid to grid here. And then maybe add the last one, right? If you follow the PDF, you're good. If you follow what I'm doing, you're also good. Okay? It's okay. So I'm showing the distance between grid to grid, and then the 215 at the end. I'm showing the overall distance. Okay. Okay. Next, we do the side. Okay. So we do the side dim, D, linear. So we start here and we do the building first. So here, and then place it again about the same distance as the first level of the dimension we did horizontally. So about there. Okay. D, continue. Okay. So okay. So that's my first level of dimension. And then I do D linear again. This time, I like the grid. Same as what I did last time. So grid from the end of the building to the grid. Okay. So about the same, again, dim linear, making sure I hit the endpoint. Yeah. Okay. To the grid. And then about the same distance as my horizontal lines or dimension. So about here. D, continue. Okay, this time I'm measuring the grid. Okay, but only click the grid line intersecting the dimension. So grid. Okay. Do I want this? Yeah, maybe or maybe not. I think just the grid. Grid. Click the grid and then the building. Okay. And this one, I can place this beside the dimension. This one as well, I can place beside the dimension. So it's not too crowded. Okay. And then the rooms, okay, or the overall. I think for this one, I need the rooms, or that's already a duplicate. So just the overall. Okay. So dim linear, D linear. This one, I'll just do the overall. Okay. Again, about the same distance. So again, you can dimension it this way or my way. That's fine. Okay. Now, this one here, I don't want that line. It's too long. So I can maybe place it somewhere here. Right? Too long. Okay. So place it somewhere here. Shorten it a bit. And then you can place a notation there. Door opening, something. Right? Okay. And then you do the one at the bottom, one at the side. Okay, so you know how to do that. I'm just going to do the side here so I know it fits my viewport. So let me do this side here. D linear. Okay, from here to the door opening. Sorry, that should go a little farther away. So somewhere there. Okay. Wrong. Let me delete that. Again, D linear from here to there, and then I should place this, okay, above the door. So see, it's going to click the endpoints. I would like to try to miss that line so it doesn't go to the endpoint of the grid. So I'll place it here. And then continue, opening, and then to the end. Okay. Next, I'll say linear. This time from here to the grid, maybe somewhere there. Continue. Okay, grid. Oops, sorry. Undo. Continue here. Grid. Grid again. Grid. Grid. Somehow it's not lining up. Okay. So make sure it's exact. This one didn't line up. Okay. So double check. I'm using my endpoints, but somehow it's not lining up. Now here as well, see, it's already not showing the grid line. So you can actually shorten this. Okay, so it shows the grid line, and actually you can actually place it here, right? Like what we did here, right? So it shows the grid line. Okay. Continue, because this was the last dimension, continue will start there. Okay, otherwise it will ask you which continue from where. You can select this dimension and then it will continue from there. Okay, so there and then here. Okay, enter, and then I'd like to move that somewhere there. And move this somewhere here, maybe at the top. Yeah, I think I should put that at the top or above the dimension line to be consistent. And then I go back, minimize. Looks like I have enough space, which is good. I do have enough space, so I'm good. Okay, so I'll stop there. Continue adding dimensions here, and then we'll go to this viewport. Okay, now when we add the dimension here, we don't want it showing in this viewport, and because we have these buttons turned off, that will be the default. Okay, so I'll show that again after I go around and answer questions. I'll start here and then go around. Okay. Any question in this? Yeah. Okay. I'll go. I'll go. Ah!
When I did the
Beam style.
Hey,
Yeah.
so
You're-
But
how you doing, man?
that's imperial. You have to get the
Yeah.
metric. So under week
sorry?
2, I think one beam and tech.
So far, yeah, so good.
Beam and tech.
Might actually be.
Week 1.
Bit fun. strange.
Netflix,
Good.
Netflix,
I've decided on
you get the
roof
deep style
layout,
from that file.
so I'm happy with that.
This
And he
makes
also
sense.
had a few revelations as well on how I'm going to break the facade. That's mostly rectangular. Now you're going to break it up by taking certain sections that are definable, setting them forward, say 18 inches, or setting 18 inches, just to give more of a rhythm to the profile. And then you can start framing it out.
That's the one I have to talk to her about. It's block coverage.
Yeah, so that's gonna be
Don't worry.
No.
Oh,
The line,
you need to have 40%, right?
Line.
And with my corner lines that I'm allowed to use on 60%. Don't be afraid of going down to. You've got to make it at the end of the day. You could maximize the space so it's the biggest possible, pushing it out as far as you can.
This is okay without.
It looks like shit, no, it's right. So you've got to give some.
Yeah, so you need either to be part of the next.
That means sacrifice square meters to do it. As an architect,
Yeah.
it's your choice to do it.
For the example that's shown, it has like a big patio out back. Would that count towards
No.
Dim style, dim style,
That's-
Sheridan.
So I'm doing that.
So is it a metric one?
But that's not, in terms of, because of
Yeah.
the strategy, when you go,
That's the one.
apply for it, they're not taking into consideration that it is. Part of it's secondary or ancillary. Still a permanent structure because it's not fully developed.
But it's not me.
Exactly, it could be uncanny, but it's still. It's the same thing, especially when it's in jointing material. Some jointing materials that rainwater or like instead of flow by the water. So when it comes to the cities, we're always going to. They don't want to
Oh,
over.
no, it's, you're in your project, that's fine. Metric text, open this.
Overpowers the sewer system. Torrential flood, right? They need a certain.
No, go to what
So these.
if you're doing this one here?
Yours is gonna.
Okay, and then design and
I mean.
and then you go here, open that up. And
That's my take.
then in style. Yeah. But you have to have that.
No, you.
Yes. So that's separate.
So when it comes to, we talk about percentage, like.
Yeah, like how far back? So would it be better to like like for better per se? If you want more, you would want to kind of push that back more of that.
See, not fun.
So it
Look
can
at
have.
that. Something's wrong.
I fixed that and then I didn't.
Because like it's based off how
Yeah,
wide
so
the
plan.
wall is.
Plan, current.
How many windows you want?
But then.
Not how many
you have to
like how much
Or
space.
use S. Yeah.
No, that's not. So you calculate the square footage, the square meterage of the wall, and then a percentage of that window for R. If it doesn't get to the R value for the whole facade, then. So that one could have many windows or a few windows but large, or anywhere between that. It's gradient, right? Windows small, few windows heavy. Large, so, and so don't make it don't have all one option or the other, but also don't make it look easy like every single windows at the inside. Stick to 2 or 3 different sizes. That makes the feeling as uniformity. Visually, it's more.
So UES name store. Yeah. Okay. You don't have PN?
I think so. I named it
What?
M.
Them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For now.
Remember, it's them. Okay. Then plan.
Yeah.
Current
And I still
issue.
have to.
It's
Plan. Where's plan?
the other one now.
Oh, you might have two viewports. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can't find it because it's frozen. The viewport maybe is frozen.
I'm trying to get everything done for Saturdays, because I gotta go.
Yes, but we cannot really delete the other one because it's still there.
No.
It's in a viewport that's frozen or not shown. Now, see, that's the reason why layer is important, because now you created a viewport that it's in a frozen layer and you don't know where it is. See, now we need to turn them all on. Just no. How do you find that? How do you find that? Is it this one? No. Is it one of this one here? So now you have to what?
Oh, it might be.
Might be that one. See? That one. So yeah, you created one and two and three. And
Are
three.
they? Oh, no, they're not. It's like.
No? Like that.
Here,
Because it is locked. That's why I'm not able to delete it.
Now everything's.
No,
Thank you.
Layers. Okay? Layers.
You've never decided between you. I was the other letter for the thing. You went up with it's like so you should for you.
Yeah, so
Yeah, but then on the other side. As it's slowly
scale.
look at this thing, this type of car is like SIR. Yeah, it's like only 2 in 12. The grid quickly. I don't know now. I froze the grid. And then there electric. And then there was a viewpoint that was like someone thinking it was frozen. And then I was trying to be angry.
Got it. Got it, man.
But it's not clear.
And then I remember.
Yeah, you place it in the.
But it was the same where. How do you guys know the mental integers?
The ASB layer, it's deep frozen here.
These are.
That's why these are like
Not very.
layer first, you have to get- Of course. I showed layer. That's part of the.
Yeah, I do.
I showed you now. Yeah.
You have a better cardboard. So. Like the door thing, I realized I left my phone.
Okay, okay, and then we're going to what? Let's see. Where's my drawing? Okay. So what am I dimensioning? I would like to dimension this one here, that one there, and the sink. Maybe I don't have the sink because I don't have a table for the sink. So
Are you dimensioning the wall or the drywall?
am I dimensioning the
Drywall to drywall or stud to stud?
from drywall to drywall? Did
Space.
I stop projecting? Yeah, something happened. Okay, let me just pause. Something happened. My bongo crashed. Just a second, okay? Sorry about that. My virtual classroom crashed. So let me create another one. Virtual classroom. Uh, yep.
Going to make the video that you failed to record one last one, or?
I failed.
Didn't get saved, you said.
Yes, I am.
Okay, because I just want to review like one point.
Yeah, and you're late.
No, I love your.
You're late. That's why. And you're trying to butter me up by saying you like my videos. Oh my. You're good, Simsol. But I am recording for you.
Like we were like stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's like no, because the Adrian is also good, but like the pace of like steps is a little different. I don't find it's actually hard to miss, and then actually your videos.
Nice. Well, that's the reason why I make them for my students. In my class or for Sheridan, right? That's why I'm doing it. Okay. Josa, can you go to the BB, okay? And I'll start projecting there again. Share my screen. What's that? Share your screen. Am I sharing my screen?
I can see what you're doing.
Yeah. No, you can because of the Robotel. Yosa, it's working. What's that? You see my screen now? Okay. Okay. Okay, let's go back. So we're now going to add the dimension here, dimension there. So
if I've maximized the screen and then I scooch over to the other washroom and I dimension that, because it's the same scale, it'll appear in the other window. Not having to minimize.
yes, it will.
It will, eh?
Yeah, because of the scale.
Scale.
Yeah. Okay, so here, dim linear, maybe from midpoint to here. Not there. Okay, like so. Add that dimension. Dim linear from, let's say, near NEA, somewhere near here, and then maybe perpendicular to this, right? Maybe measure that. Do I need to measure this? I don't think so. If I have a table counter here, I might. So I'll just leave that empty, not dimension. And it's not showing. Why is it not showing? So, and it's showing here. I think I place it in the wrong dimension. So what can I do? Okay, so look at this one. I made a mistake, but that's okay. Mistakes are good, so I can demonstrate something else. Object scale, okay? Object scale, see? It appears, right? So I'm going to select this two, enter. It was created in this viewport, scale 1 to 50. I'm going to add scale 1 to 30. Click OK. I'm going to remove scale 1 to... Oh, yeah. It's not allowing me to show a screen. Okay, so let me do another one. Okay. Okay, just a second. Let me create another one, virtual classroom. New. Now. 60 minutes. Okay. Week 3C. Save. And join. Listen only. There. Screen 2. Allow. Okay. And okay, can you see now? Yeah. And can you see AutoCAD now? Okay. So, see, I made a mistake. I made the dimension here in this viewport. I don't know why, but that's okay. I'll go here and type object scale in this viewport. And then the annotative objects appears, and I can select those and say add the scale 1 to 30, okay, and then remove the 1 to 50. Click OK, and it solves that. Okay, so no problem. Object scale allows you to turn on and off annotative objects in the scale you want to show them. So I don't want to show it in 1 to 50. It disappears here. I want it to show in 1 to 30. It appears here. Okay. So let me go here, maximize, add the same or similar dimensions, dim linear. Okay. Midpoint to perpendicular. Okay. Maybe somewhere there. And then do it again. NEA, near here to shift right click, perpendicular. Okay, maybe somewhere here. It's always nice to maybe move this a little bit away from the line. Okay, maybe this one as well. It's always nice to move it away from the grid. Okay, now, and then minimize. Okay, and I think the last thing that you want to do is to add the dimensions, the text. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. We're going to go here, maximize, and then look at our text, showroom, office, boardroom, office. Okay, so let's go to AutoCAD, and then we're going to say we're in the right layer. We still have the right scale, but we need to change our text style. ST is the shortcut key. ST. Now, for that one, again, we want medium. That will be 3 mm high. Okay, set current. Close. Okay, zoom in. Text T. T, enter. Okay, caps lock on. Show room. Sorry, I should be in the A01 text layer. Okay, so A01 text should be the current layer. Okay, next I'm going to copy this from here to zoom in here, maybe one here. Okay, one here. This one is a room, so one there, and then one here. Okay. Did I forget any other rooms?
What was the text command?
T.
T.
Okay. Oh, I forgot don't forget the text dimension here. Okay, for the column. Don't forget that. Okay. And here as well. Don't forget this dimensions. Okay, so go back. And I think that's enough text. You copied. It's a lot easier to copy and then just double click, Control A, and change that text. I find it easier. Office, boardroom, office. Okay, so office. Okay, click outside, double click, Control A, boardroom, click outside, double click here, Control A, office. Okay, click outside. We'll say washroom, Control A, washroom. Do the same here. Control A selects all the letters. Washroom. Okay. Now, here, maybe I'd like to clean this up a little bit. Get that away. Right? Now, you want to clean it up so that it looks good, so that the interviewer, when they see your portfolio, they say, that's the type of CAD I'd like to hire you. Okay? If you're simply doing things that are not looking great, it's not readable, and then you show your portfolio to an interviewer, they'll say, next. Right? They won't even look interview you. Okay, so minimize. Okay, then you add the labels, titles. So title here is washroom. You create a text here, number 2. The text here is number 1. So you make one of this. So we'll say style, text style. I want the large number or letter. Set current, close. Okay, T, space bar. I'm going to write the number 1, click outside. Okay, that's the number 1. Okay. And then I'll add a circle like so. Add a line from the quadrant. Quadrant will be the 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, right? So quadrant, and then add the line right here. And then add the text, main floor plan. So do I want it with a large text? Yeah, we'll say T, enter. So we'll say main floor plan. Click outside. You can adjust this, maybe move it closer. Okay. You can shorten this. Okay. And then ST medium, set current close, medium for the scale. Scale 1:50. Okay. Then move this, align it there, looks nice. Okay. And then copy this setup from here to there. And to here. Okay. Copy that, double click, 1 to 30, click outside. Washroom 1 plan. Okay, washroom, double click, Control A, washroom 1 plan. Click outside, move, align this to that. Okay, and then double click, Control A, Control C, double click, Control A, Control V, change that to 2. Okay, and then move this from here to there. Okay. Anything else I forgot? Any question? So text, that's it. Okay. You may add a hatch pattern for the walls, or maybe not, because we already have details, right?
Dimension for the post pillar.
Yeah, the pillar, don't forget, add dimension here. Okay.
Do we need those circles?
Grid. Yeah, this one here. So you can add that. I think we can even use this, right? So copy this from shift, right click, quadrant. So use this quadrant right here. And nope, I need to, this is in paper space. Okay, let's see how it will copy. So Control C, copy, go inside, Control V. It doesn't work, right? So maybe I'll do one here. Maximize. Okay. Style. Large. Set current. Close. T for text. Add 1. Is it too big? I think it's okay. And then circle. What layer am I adding to? Text layer as well. Move. Okay. From shift, quadrant, here to there. Now, you can make this into a block or an @def attribute. We're going to do that topic when we add furnitures. So for now, we're just going to copy. Okay, so we'll do it the long way for now. Copy, copy, copy. Okay, and then copy one here and move this from shift, right click, quadrant. This quadrant right here, move it there, and then copy this from here to the grids. Okay, why do I have this move? I don't need that, so I'll just delete that. And then we edit ABC 1 2 3. Okay, so ABC 1 2 3, control capital A, not good. We need to move that. We'll move them together later. Control A, B, control A, C, control A, D. I think I'm missing. Am I missing anything? F. I'm missing something. Oh, here. I started here. Oh my. Control A. Let's do that again. Control A, B. Control A, C. Now, there's the middle center justification. I'm just showing you this for now. So you know that, it's easier if we have placed it in the middle center. But that's okay. Control A, B, C, D, E. And then we have an F. Control A, F. Okay. And then I'll say move, not selecting the circle. I'm just moving the text from here to there. Okay. Okay. This one here, 1, double click A, 2, double click, control A, 3, double click, control A, 4, double click. To edit, control A, 5, double click, control A, 6. Move. I might need to move this here. Okay, not see anything within the circle. If you have the blue box, will be selected. Anything outside the circle will not be, the box will not be selected. Okay, and then move it a little bit, just a notch, like so. Okay, go back to your tab. Looks nice. Okay, and then here, this should be drawing number 2, and this should be drawing number 3. Okay, so that's what we have. So the project is actually a lot easier than the exercise. Not as much text as the exercise. Okay, so I'll stop here. I'll upload this and I'll go around to answer questions. Large. Did I use large?
Yeah.
Yeah, I use large. I think no, I think I used medium.
I use medium.
Yeah, I use medium. Medium. This is large right here. Large, medium. Okay? And then the scale is medium as well. Is large. Yeah. Which one? Are large. Yes. The grid. The number here, large. Okay? Stop sharing and meeting.